Hey guys, if you like what you see, be sure to hit that big red subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. With that said, on with the video. So recently we learned that Astronema is getting her own origin story in the comics that's coming out sometime next year. Not only that, she is set to appear in issue 5 of Power Rangers, facing off against the Omega Rangers with Ecliptor, and that is really exciting because they've described Astronema as being some kind of assassin, so this is Astronema in her early days of working for Dark Spectre, and I'm guessing what this is, it's sort of the jumping point, how she became the favourite of Dark Spectre, and became the Princess of Darkness. So I'm excited to see how Ryan is going to handle that in the comics, and how we sort of explore the early days of these characters. But that has a lot of fans, including myself, questioning, is Andros going to show up in this comic as well? And I hope he does, because Andros is another fan favorite of me and many other people in the Ranger community. So will Andros appear in the Power Rangers comic moving forward? So let's talk about that theory. So if the timeline lines up correctly, if you line up the timeline of the TV show and the comics, sort of putting them together, sort of trying to do the timeline math and stuff like that, roughly around this time in the story, Andros and Zane have joined the KO-35 army in hopes of one day being Power Rangers, and I'm guessing what happens in the comic, because Zordon put on the big bounty on the Omega Rangers, he put the hit out on them, wants people to bring them back and so he can strip their powers, put Draken back in jail. He might be choosing Andros to be one of those people to hunt down the Omega Rangers, saying that he's a very fit soldier, he's good for the job, and probably has the potential to bring in the Omega Rangers and Draken. Now we probably know that Andros can't go toe to toe with 3 Omega Rangers and Draken, so he's probably going to get his shit wrecked. Even if Zane's there, I can see this going very, very badly for the two. And seeing how we're getting an Astronema origin story comic in March, I get the feeling that this is somehow going to have Andros in it in some shape or form, whether Ryan's going to do something with the character in Power Rangers, or the writer for the Astronema one-shot is going to do something with their comic they're working on. I have no idea, but I get the feeling you can't have like Astronema and not reference Andros, so I get the feeling that something is going to happen between the characters. What that is, I don't know, but my big speculation is that like one of the to be continues or one of the cliffhangers for issue 5 or issue 6 of Power Rangers is Andros showing up on like the final page, whether he's morphed or not, because I just have a gut feeling that this character is going to show up, because a lot of fans are speculating that either Andros or the Aquitar Rangers are going to show up in this comic in some shape or form, and I totally support that theory, because I want to see Andros appearing in this comic as well. I want to see inexperienced Andros get his shit kicked in by the Omega Rangers, by Draken, or even like this assassin Astronema, because that would be a really good way to set off the rivalry between these characters, having sort of their origin story between them. But if there's one thing I hope we see in the Power Rangers comic, that is the original in-space team, because if you didn't know, Andros had 4 in-space morphers lying around when the Turbo Rangers showed up, so I do wonder if those morphers did have owners and Andros lost members of his team. So that is the big theory and speculation of the Power Rangers community for the longest time. It's sort of been like a theory in the community for the longest time. Did Andros have an original team? And if the comics can expand on that and sort of create their own lore around it, it'd be really cool to see that. So I do wonder if Hasbro will let Ryan sort of myth bust that myth that we've had going around in the fandom for the longest time. It'd be really cool, and the mystery would be solved, which kind of takes away from the mystery, but hey, I'd like to see how Ryan would handle that. Anyway guys, do you think it's a slight possibility that Andros will show up in the Power Rangers comics sooner or later? Because I have a gut feeling that he might show up. Maybe he will show up, maybe he won't show up, but hey, it'd be really cool if we can get a face-off between Andros, the Omega Rangers, Draken, and a bunch of other characters who will be appearing in this comic, because with Zordon putting the bounty on the Omega Rangers with whoever can get this message in space, it's sort of opened the doors for a lot of opportunities for certain characters and new ones to appear. Maybe we'll see Dane again, who knows. But either way, I am hoping that Andros does appear in the Power Rangers comic, because if we're getting Astronema and Ecliptor, we've got to be getting Andros as well. I mean, we've got to be getting set up for something later down the line with the In-Space Rangers, but who knows? Guess we'll find out in the next couple of months next year. Anyway guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up the video now. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you want to support me in a more personal way, you can hit that join button and select one of the perks that suits you. There are different benefits for certain perks, such as credits in the name of the video, shoutouts, and me promoting your stuff if you hit one of the higher tiers. So if any of that suits you, be sure to hit one of the perks or the join button. It'd be much appreciated. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'd love you if you did. But with that said, I'm going to wrap things up here now. That's the end of the video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, take care, and thank you for watching.